Hi everyone, this is Jamie from Painted Lady Tarot, and today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the Victorian Romantic Tarot by Baba Studios. Now, the first one we have here, this is the new one that just came out. This is the third edition. Absolutely gorgeous. This one just came out a few months ago, and the other one we're going to compare it to is I believe this was the 2010. This is the Russian edition. So you're going to see there's a lot of differences between the cards. They're both lovely. I love them both. But I thought, hey, let's do a side-by-side. So first things first. In the new 2018 edition, we've got this beautiful box. Now, this is your classic Baba box that everyone loves. Now, all the ones that they're printing in the last few years anyway have these great boxes that they come in. The Russian edition, however, was not actually printed by them. It was printed by someone else, and it came in just your basic tuck box. Nothing to get excited over. And of course, all in Russian. I had originally picked this one up. It was a damaged copy, so I got a pretty sweet deal on it. Anyways, so there you go. There's the first difference right there. Huge difference. They both come with your standard little white book. Of course, the Russian one, yeah, all in Russian. So it was it was a little bit tricky for some of the cards because I wasn't 100% sure what they were. So I would have to basically go on and Google other people's cards to figure out what the heck they were because it is written all in Russian. The 2016, in English, of course. They just basically put a little something, something for each of the cards. And we have our little ID card here. Now, the first major thing here is the cold stamping. Now, you've got this cold stamping in the 2018 edition. I don't know if I can pick it up in the light. It's absolutely gorgeous. We don't have any of that in the Russian. So they're obviously different. All right, here's my setup. Magician. You can see that the images are a little bit, like if you look at the older Russian edition, they're more in line, they look more illustrated, like an old illustration, whereas in the newer ones, try to see if I can focus here, less so. Oh, another difference immediately is we're looking at is the card backs. Got that beautiful red and gold on the Russian and the more royal blue on the new edition. High Priestess. The Empress. Now the Emperor, here we go, there's the Emperor here on the new edition. In the Russian edition, it came with two Emperor cards. So you had this first one here, very Egyptian looking Emperor. And you also got a second Emperor card, which was, well, basically Napoleon, which I quite enjoy. Hierophant. The Lovers. Now the new edition came with a second Lovers card, which is right here. Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Very different Hangman. I prefer definitely prefer the Russian edition for this particular card. Not a huge fan of this one. The Death card is pretty much the same. Temperance, very different. I do prefer the newer edition of the Temperance card. Devil. And like I said, you can see here, she's been cleaned up a lot in the newer edition. She's more liney in this guy here and more cleaned up here. And the new edition also has a second Devil card, which is pretty awesome. I do enjoy it quite a lot. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Now, I actually really prefer the new Sun card. Now, at first glance, you're like, it's the same thing, but if you look at this one, there's like these weird lines that you see that were going through it. That didn't really make any sense, and that's been cleaned up in the new edition, so I do prefer this one. Judgment. The World. Ace of Wands. Quite different. Two of Wands. Big difference here on the Three of Wands. I prefer the Russian, not gonna lie. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And we got a big difference on our 9 here. I prefer the Russian. I love that look on his face. Kills me. This one looks a little bit too pensive. He looks more terrified. I feel like I'm more down with the terrified. 10s are the same. Page. Knight. Queen. And King. So that's it for the Wands. And we come to the Cups. So our Ace of Cups is no major changes other than the obvious cold stamping and a little bit cleaner. 2. 3 is very different. I feel like the 3 on the new edition doesn't make as much sense with the deck. I find that the 3 in the Russian version just, I don't know, flows better with the rest of the cards in the deck, like art style wise anyway. 4. 5. I prefer the 5 on this deck. It makes more sense with what the card means, so I prefer this one. 6, we see a lot of difference in these two cards. 7, 8, 9, 10, Page, Knight, Queen, King, quite different. We get to our swords. The Ace, 2. I love this card that she doesn't even put swords in it. You know exactly which card without even reading the bottom. You know what card this is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, changed her hair color. Look, she's much more blonde in the new one. 9 is very different. I prefer the 9 on this one here. 10. Page. Knight. And here we got a big difference here in our Queen of Swords. Which I think is good, because this Queen... I used to look at this and get confused and think it was King. I don't find, you know, I feel like she did this one just, I like this one better as Queen. We're going to leave it at that. King. Ace of Pentacles. Quite different. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing major difference there. See, 6 is very different. I prefer the 6 in this one. It just looks more like your traditional 6 of Pentacles card. 7 of Pentacles, we see it's a completely different card as well. 8. 9. Sorry. And 10. Now our page has, he's changed the color of his shirt, but, and the background has changed as well, but still the same fella sitting there on the little throne. Our knight. Queen. And finally, King of Pentacles. So, that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this little comparison. Have a great day. Bye.